Legends of War here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do the final battle with absolute ease. There's a cheese that you can do in the final battle to make it almost trivial. You just have to get past the beginning. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this battle extra challenging for me. And of course use the cheese, just to show you guys how you can do it and basically guarantee that you just won't lose. Now, it'll obviously be quite easy bringing a Doomstack. I've got a Soul Grinder Doomstack here with Nurgle. I've chosen Nurgle because I think that Nurgle is the weakest race in the game and has the weakest army roster. You can do this cheese with any of the factions, any playable faction, no problem. But what we're going to do here is actually disband all of these Soul Grinders. Get rid of the heroes. I know they die because they actually get killed if they're get disbanded. It doesn't matter. This save file doesn't matter. And showcase that this save file here is on very hard campaign difficulty, very hard battle difficulty. So just full transparency, I just blitzed through the campaign on easy difficulty, and then this one here just bumped it up to very hard. Just this one here was to get the achievement for beating Nurgle on very hard or legendary difficulty, which I've showcased how to do that in the Steam achievement video. But the final battle here, the difficulty of it doesn't actually get more challenging on legendary difficulty. It's the battle difficulty is the only thing that matters here. Now we've also got a bunch of equipment on Kugath Plaguefather, which would be good if we, put the best equipment that we could on him, but no. Gonna make this extra challenging. You get nothing. Okay? I can't dial back his levels, and we kind of actually need him to have the levels that he does have here, or else I'm not gonna be able to get past the first wave. But I've weakened him as much as I possibly can for this state here, apart from getting rid of this plague, which isn't really helping him that much anyway. He's just got casualty replenishment rate. Anyway, let's just jump into this. Not going to showcase any of the cinematics because I don't want to spoil it. The main thing here is to show how you can beat this battle really, really easily and explain what's going on with this bloody survival battle. Now, even if you don't cheese it, this battle does take a while. But if you're going to cheese it, basically prepare to do something else for a bit. I'll show you in a bit. Alright, so let's jump into the battle. Because we don't need our main army, right? We only need to use the reinforcing army. Of course, don't get me wrong, if we had the main army as well, it would be easier. But like I said, we're just trying to make a point here. And to showcase that it almost doesn't matter what army that you bring. The main thing is you just need to be able to beat the first wave. Okay, so not going to show any of the cinematics or anything like that. All you have to be able to do is beat this wave here, and I'm fairly sure that Kugath here should be able to beat these 5 units by himself. He'll probably take a fair bit of damage, but that's the only thing we'll need him for in this battle. Now, if you're going to do this with one Lord, just don't bring only a Flying Lord, like Kairos Fateweaver, or Miao Ying, or Zhao Ming. If you do that, you won't be able to cap actually, I don't know if the game will let you fight this with non-capping units, but yeah, you need to be able to cap the first position, or else how are you supposed to bring in your reinforcements, or even progress throughout the battle? So what we're going to do here is firstly aim for the Plague Bearers, because the Pink Horrors will catch up and I think be on the same area there. Try to get as many kills as possible and just generate some magics while we get back as far as we can here. Like I said, all we got to do is get past this first wave. Don't worry about his ammunition, it's fine. Like I said, we just need to get past this first wave here. Everything needs to be used to just get past this first wave. After that, should be in the clear. Now, if I can time this right, I'll be able to hit this one with Blight Boil and this one as well. Because, yeah, those pink fires of cinch shots do a lot of damage. Okay. If we could just get that one crumbling. No. Is it? Not quite. There it is, there it is. Good. Okay, that one's finished then. Because that's the one that's going to do the most damage to you. Now here's another little tip. Units that are disintegrating don't actually give you any supplies. You have to actually be doing the damage to the unit to get supplies off it. And this cheese here really does rely on manipulating the supply system. Now, Blight Boil's not very cost effective, but it's good at getting rid of things quickly. Now we just want to use the Stream of Corruption, because that'll also activate his passive for health regeneration. So there's also a lot of debuffs being applied to us as well. Damage resistance minus 15%. Getting tired, but that's only when our hit points below 50%. And we lose 10 leadership and 25% armor, but 25% armor on demons is not that big of a deal.
My experiment succeeds.
Alright, we got plenty of magic, so a non-overcasted Blight Boil seems like a good choice here. Just try to get this over with. Also, when they're disintegrating like this, you want to try to get one last hit in, just so you get some more supplies.
Yes.
Alright, we're done here. Alright, we can still just sit here and just generate reserves for a little bit, but I honestly think it'll be fine. So what we're going to do here is pop down the big heal spell. Which one is it? This one here? Yeah. No, that's not it. There it is. Okay. So yeah, you can sit here as long as you want. Nothing's going to happen at this phase of the battle. But as soon as you cap this point here, you basically have to deal with enemies the entire time, which is actually where the cheese comes in. Now, Kugath probably isn't going to be able to solo this entire wave by himself. Maybe one of the other legendary lords can, but Kugath can't. So we're going to need to get some reinforcements. We'll immediately get a whole bunch of supplies, and we get 4 Plague Bearers and 2 Beasts of Nurgle. Still got some supplies left over. Let's get some towers. Nurgle towers are very strong. And the supply point will generate some supplies for us. Biggest concern for us here at this stage of the fight is going to be the cinch ranged units. Everything else, the Plague Bearers should be able to handle quite easily. I'd recommend trying to get the pink fires and blue fires of the horrors of Cinch to try to shoot at Kugath, because at least he can tank it quite easily. Also, get your towers to aim for those units. Now, funny thing here is that later down the track, we're actually going to be demolishing these towers, but right now, we're going to need them to get past this wave. Oh, if we have Flamers of Cinch there, they got to go. Anything that's a ranged unit, get rid of. Because we just don't have the speed to deal with it as Nurgle. But all the melee units, let them come. Yeah, Flamers of Cinch, big problem. Need the Beast of Nurgle to at least herd them away. Because they're the Plague Bearers, they're just so bloody slow. Like I said, doing this with Nurgle is probably the most difficult. Don't be too panicked if they if your troops are taking too much damage, but do not lose this capture point. Whatever you do, do not lose it. Because if any of your units get killed, if you're gaining enough supplies, you can just bring them back, and they're pretty cheap.
Infection is inevitable.
That's it. Make sure we focus on the ranged units. Okay, they're aiming at our towers. Fine. Just as long as they're not aiming at our troops.
Nuggles, come on.
Okay, how about you come back, and you come back, and we'll do an overcasted fleshy abundance.
On the move. Ringing. Fox, plague, and pus.
Oh, that one's crumbling. But I think we saved it just in time there. Oh, those damn flamers, I tell you what, they wreck us, especially against Nurgle.
My experiment succeeds.
Imagine how much easier this would be if we had a full stack sitting in here. Of anything. Even if it was Chaos Furies. That's it. Get rid of the pink horrors there for us. Good. Still got this, but I think we're good for this wave. Save that for the next one. Okay, this wave here is almost over. So we're down to 30 Winds of Magic, but don't feel bad if you want to like actually purchase more Winds of Magic. It's totally fine. You can do the unlimited Winds of Magic with Nurgle, and that army that I had before was able to do it. Because there was a Death Wizard in there. But again, we don't need to use that in this battle. That's not the cheese I'm talking about. So I'm not going to do the unlimited Winds of Magic. I can't do it now. Been disabled for myself. Alright, we lost one of our infantry. Let's bring him back. Oh, I gotta wait a little bit. Also got this.
Nurgle's pestilent blue master.
Okay, wave's almost over. There's just 2 plague bearers we're going to get rid of. But you'll notice that when you hover over this, it says, you know, that there's 2 of them, but there's still, like, Chaos Warhounds coming at us. This is part of the cheese, right? There is now an unlimited wave of units that'll keep coming at us. And attacking them with your units, in melee, ranged, magic, whatever, as long as your units are getting them, will provide supplies. Now, after the first wave here, you could sit at their reinforcement spot and just kill them, right? But the best thing to do is actually do it after the second wave, because the stuff that come in after the second wave is really easy to kill. And that's what we're going to show you here. But I'm just going to get to that point. So, what, are we done yet? Yeah, okay, we're done. Bring the Beasts of Nurgle back over here. We're not going to get rid of the towers just yet, because we still need to be able to deal with this wave over here, which is going to include some soul grinders. So we're going to need some serious firepower. But here's the thing, I'm not actually going to defend this position. I'm going to send my fastest unit, which is a Beast of Nurgle, to go over there, cap that point, which will unlock some more reinforcements for us, but we're going to defend this position here. What I want to do here is just let this fight go on just a bit longer, because it's pretty good for supplies.
Unspeakable proxies. So be it. They die.
So we're also still getting points from holding the capture point. Just soak up as much supplies as possible. Because otherwise, if you go into this position here too early, you probably get wrecked by the wave of armies that's coming through. So the main thing here is just take your time. Don't worry, don't panic, take your time. Everything should be secure at this point. If we just speed things up, let them come in. They can't really do any serious damage to us. Now, like I said before, the towers don't do... Like, when they dish out damage to the enemy here, they don't provide supplies. So, we're going to need to get rid of the towers later down the track. But I need these towers here to help us fight against this next wave. We're still getting some supplies. But this isn't the cheese that I was talking about just yet. We could also withdraw some of these weakened units. He's at his max regen, and then just bring him back later. But what we can do is fight out the second wave. If he gets wiped out, we'll just bring him back. It's just cheaper to do it that way. Okay, let's bring this guy up. Just one of them while the others fight here. Gonna cap this point. Now, funny thing here is that sometimes if you cap this point and then just run back here straight away, the AI actually doesn't even try to recap the point. It just tries to attack your army, so you might be able to hold on to it. What that does is just provides you with a little bit of extra supplies and prevents that particular penalty, which isn't that bad. Apart from the damage per second, that is actually pretty bad. Which is probably about to be applied to this guy here. Oh well. You can see we're making more supplies than we're probably going to be losing, but we no longer get any supplies from holding that capture point. Alright, I could probably give him a... Well, I'm not going to do a fleshy abundance on this unit here. If it dies, it dies. Just let it. Don't forget, these towers here do not do friendly fire. We don't want to upgrade them to tier 4 towers. Tier 1's fine. So I just sent the weakest one over here just in case I actually couldn't get back in time, because they're not that fast. Okay, at least we're not going to take passive damage anymore. Now, while we own this position here can't be taken. We've got a few seconds. Oh, that's okay. No, we're not going to... We're going to skip these. Okay, and we're going to hire all the units that we can get. Come on, run! And we still have a lot of supplies left over. But yeah, now we are dealing with goddamn soul grinders. And they kind of seem like they want to cap it, but they're not standing in the right spot. Put this guy up front here. If he gets wiped out, we'll, just bring him back. No big deal. And they retain their experience and upgrades that we can give them. Don't want to give them upgrades yet because upgrades are not as cost effective as just replacing the unit itself. Yeah, I thought that one might get caught. Come on, slowpokes, get in here. And now a whole bunch of units. This is why we wanted the towers. To help us fight these waves off. Now again, do not panic. If any units get wiped out, we can just bring them back. Okay? Death is meaningless in these sort of survival battles. Absolutely meaningless. Only thing that matters is supplies. Okay, what I'm going to get these to do is get rid of any Cinchian units that come around the back here. Because they are going to be the biggest concern. Okay, same thing. They're getting shot up by soul grinders. This guy here is going to die. That's okay, he did the job that he needed to do. Because now, he'll just pop back in there soon. So yeah, a lot of units that we got to deal with. Some of them will hang back. This is why we want to defend this position here. They're starting to cap this point here, but don't worry about it. We'll still have access to all of these reinforcements. That's why we didn't build towers out here. Okay, this one comes back. Cool. Okay, probably don't want to be using them to fight giants. Yeah, we got to get rid of the Cinchian units over here. Is that line of sight might be blocked? This one here isn't. Alright, hang on. Draw them back over here. Try to bring them back this way a little bit. Right, stay there a little bit. Let's see here. Yep. Just a little bit concerned about too many of them coming in here at once and actually capping the point. So we've got plenty of supplies. Like I said, death is meaningless here. Probably would be best if Kugath doesn't get wiped out. Because they do tend to aim for your lords. But he also has a lot of cap. Oh, they didn't actually finish capping that point. Like I said, they don't care that much about it. They go for your army. We just need to get past this wave here, and then the cheesery can begin. Like I said, death is meaningless, don't worry about it. Okay, it's feeling a little bit more calm now. A little bit. Right, might be good to pop this down. Even if Kugath dies, he can be revived with this system. But yeah, legendary lords are really expensive, especially if they're rank 50. While we own this position, they can't cap this point.
Infection is inevitable. Calculating my destination. Over here.
It's fine if they aim for that tower, I'll rebuild it. Oh, we got a Soul Grinder going for Kugath here, that's not great. Yeah, like I said, they like to aim for your lords.
Blade Weaver, moving. On the move. Kugath, Blade Weaver.
Will do. Got plenty of supplies. No reason to panic just yet. Even if it looks like we're getting outnumbered, which we kind of are. Kugath might end up dying just because he's such a bloody big target.
Unspeakable toxins.
It's probably the worst one to do this with.
Finger of sickness.
Okay, good. They're back. Get rid of... actually, that's unlimited wave stuff. We don't really need to get rid of that so much. We need to get rid of the ones that's coming from this angle here.
A sensible location. Anytime.
We're okay. We're okay. No reason to panic just yet. Okay, rebuild that.
Kugath, repositioning. On the move. A superior position. Blade Weaver, moving.
And as long as this percentage here is going down, we're winning.
Here.
Just got to get it down to 0, and then the cheese can begin. And I'll explain how this battle becomes utterly trivial right after this point.
A sensible location.
Could do some debuffs. Might be a good idea actually. Slow them down a bit. He miscast it, but that's okay. Like I said, if I need to purchase some more Winds of Magic, it's okay. It's not 600's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
Oh, that giant probably got a lot of kills. Yeah, I couldn't really do much about the giant because we don't have missile units. Well, we got the plague, Exalted Plague Bearers, but they're kind of stuck in melee here. And they're short range. Okay, another tower down. That's okay. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that they're coming back with all the experience that they had when they got wiped out. That is key to part of this cheese, because it doesn't increase their price to recruit. So these guys here, it's becoming a veteran army already.
Prosperous! So be it. Fox, plague, and us.
But yeah, Nurgle doesn't kill very quickly. It takes a long time to get through this. This cheese is really good if you play as Khorne because you just rip right through them. They've got much better troops.
Slaughter them, spreading infection.
Yeah, these guys here, they get wrecked pretty quick. Need another one. Yeah, I'll pop it down on that, I think. Right, we're almost through this wave here. We've just got, looks like 6 soul grinders remaining. And we just got to grind them down. That one there's about to die. Let's speed that up a bit. Kugath is just about at his heal cap. He may get wounded. And even if he doesn't, we would probably want to pull him out soon anyway. Because after the wave is over. Just let him heal. Because if you pull them out, they can get their heal regeneration cap back. And since we've got enough supplies, I will purchase some more Winds of Magic.
On the move. Very well.
We're almost done here.
The perfect plague. It is done.
Okay, now what we need to do is start actually not completely dedicating around these soul grinders, but sending some guys out here to start pushing back. We need to get to this point here, and we just got to grind ourselves over to there because we're so damn slow. If we can get one of these guys to actually shoot a soul grinder, that might speed things up as well. They're all pretty low on health. Yeah, really get rid of the cinch ones. Soon it's not going to matter one bit that cinch units are coming in. Not one bit. Oh, ran out of supplies. That's okay, we've got more than enough units now. Okay, this wave is just about over. These soul grinders are just about finished. Now for a big push out here. There we go. The wave's over. Now we push. There'll be no units coming from our rear here. There's some units there, but they just sit there. Yeah, they just sit there. We don't need to deal with them right now. The main thing here is that we can do the cheese for as long as we want until we capture this point here. Now, I'll explain the cheese as soon as we actually start doing it. We need to get to where they're spawning in. Basically, what we do is we camp out at their spawning points. We spread our melee infantry around. When they do that, they actually are trying to get into the town, into the capture point, right? So they're not really attacking us, and you can just sit all of your units there that you've spawned that you didn't even bring into the battle, and go go do something else for like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and all that time you will generate hundreds and thousands of supplies. With that supplies, you can use to upgrade these units and to have endless reinforcements when you're dealing with Bellicor, because he simply will not be able to kill your army fast enough. Now, at this point here is where we actually destroy the towers, because the towers, when they kill enemy entities, they don't provide supplies.
Infection is inevitable.
So what we want to do here is get to that point. They're not going to capture our point, we're going to capture their point. Now, probably don't want to go take a break just yet. We got to get ourselves really set up, and that's going to take a moment. Make sure all of our units are on the battlefield, and make sure they're in relatively decent shape, because unless you're playing as Cinch, your units will die a little bit over time, and if you're going to walk away for an hour, you need to make sure they're actually going to last an hour while you're not looking. Otherwise, you're going to lose. But yes, this unit here has 8 experience. It's nuts. All from this one battle here, because they all start off with none. And it's no more expensive to bring it back, so your army keeps getting better, while you're getting loads of supplies, allowing them to revive themselves endlessly. Having Kugath, you know what, it's time for Kugath to go. Okay, now what we're going to need to do is just spread out across this area here. Anywhere where portals show up, we need to put our infantry so that the pink horrors can't just get away. So yeah, Kugath is going to cost a lot of supplies, but he'll come back at full health and he'll get all of his abilities back. He doesn't come back with any additional winds of magic though, unless he had a Forbidden Rod, which I think he did have, and I took it off him. So melee infantry is actually best for doing this little cheese here, but man, Nurgle is slow to get into position. Holy crap. We want to spread our units across here, where their portals are going to be. We're just about in position. These ones here can be grounded. And just make it so they cannot get out of this zone here without fighting us. Having the Beasts of Nurgle spread out because they provide a melee defense. Or is it melee attack debuff? Whatever the case is, it weakens them. Oh, look at that. They teleported behind us there. Okay, Kugath is back. Don't you dare shoot. Get over here. Okay. We're not in a position yet that I could just walk away. We've still got to get a little bit more set up, but we are gaining supplies. Because, you know, Kugath was really expensive. It's interesting. Maybe with Nurgle, you don't want to walk away from the computer for too long, but with the other ones, you definitely can. Especially Cinch, because of barrier. These units are unlikely to get past your barrier. if you've got like a whole bunch of Forsaken. Okay, now for a bit of a time jump, we're just going to essentially just leave this for a bit, let the battle progress, and I'm just going to keep getting more and more supplies. These guys will keep getting stronger and stronger, and then when I feel like we're ready to take on the final battle to make it absolutely trivial, we'll go and do that.
2 hours later.
Okay, it's been quite a while now. I've probably left this more or less AFK for about 2 hours. It says a lot more up here, but that's because I've had it on fast forward mode. I've had to come in here every now and again just to make sure that damaged units were coming back. And we've scored almost max experience on all the units. We've got all of the upgrades. I've got 35,000 supplies ready to go. And I messed around with these guys a little bit and took out all but one of the soul grinders. So I'm ready to go and cap that as soon as we go and do that. I've also built some towers around here because when it comes to the final wave, we have to put everything into it to make sure that we win. Because if our army entirely gets wiped out really quickly, that's going to be a big problem. So having the towers to thin out enemy forces will be really good. Now, generally speaking, we don't really want to fight here because we're just going to get completely overwhelmed by the enemy forces. You can definitely win it, especially if you brought your initial army. But by abandoning this point at the beginning and coming over to here, what that does is it spreads out their armies, allows us to deal with them in waves, because like I said, we just don't want to get our entire army wiped out all in one go. So this one here is about to get wiped out, no big deal. You know, with 2,000 kills on that unit, yeah, you may go. And then we just get it back, and we get it at max experience. Even these units here are coming back at max experience, because they've just been fighting so much. Because it's the same unit that's coming back constantly. So 750 supplies that unit is. But yeah, we take damage a little bit over time. Not that big of a deal, because what we're getting back is, in supplies, is definitely a return on our investment for just, you know, essentially just sitting there. Alright. Once we cap that point there, we'll start another a different wave over here, and we need to get back over to this point. So, also I generated maximum winds of magic. We can't get any more than that.
My experiment succeeds.
So yeah, again, Nurgle's probably the worst at doing this. It's really easy to do it with Ogres, with Khorne, Slanesh, Tzeentch. Easiest to be done with Tzeentch because of his barrier. Okay. The only upgrade I didn't get was his missile unit upgrade. I just didn't think that was needed. But I do have plenty of supplies, so yeah, whatever, just get it. Now, we'll get a bunch new units as well. They're not going to have max experience, but we just teleport them straight back over here. Now, I'm sending the Plague Toads over here because they're the fastest. They can get back the quickest. We can't use the flying units because they can't cap points. But if we get out of here quick enough, they might not even recap this point. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, Be'lakor's still just sitting there, just watching this, being like, man, I'm witnessing a lot of cheese right now. Again, we don't have to do this now. If you want to wait till you get 100,000, a million supplies, that's entirely up to you. It just comes down to your degree of patience. That's all it is. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We gotta get ready to go. Because we got about 40 seconds. Okay, go. Start making your way back over here. Now, if they don't cap this point back, they can't get this point back. And that means they can't get this point back. But we have to make sure we hold on to 1 point. So, start bringing everybody back over here and rebuild these towers. Just tier 1 towers are fine. Now, I don't want to build a barricade here, because what I find is that, or really any towers in this section at all, what I find is that if you build a barricade there, they'll actually destroy it, and if they destroy it, they'll be like, oh, I might as well cap this point. Okay, again, we're not going to show any of the cutscenes. Go do the battle yourself. So they may cap that point. It's okay if they do, but then sometimes they don't. So we get rid of the damage reduction. I'm not sure if these guys here are going to get back in time. We'll see. And now we've got new waves over here that don't have any experience. All that old wave that we've been fighting, that's all that we won't be seeing them again. So the fact they got tons of experience means nothing. Okay, also, I should have done this. Forgot to do this. We get our own soul grinders. Now, the most efficient unit to be bringing back to life is actually the melee infantry, just because the other units are so bloody expensive. So I'm not going to be giving them their upgrades. I only gave them the upgrades just to point out just how much bloody cheese we did right there. But yeah, look, they're not even trying to cap that point. So don't fight at that point there if you don't have to. Which you don't have to. If they don't cap that point, they can't cap this point. Which means they can't cap this point. Now, funny thing is, if I really want to, I can, as my units get wiped out, I can teleport over to here. Like, if we start getting overrun, but all of their army is over here, I can start reinforcing over to here. And I have to run all the way back, and of course they have to cap that point before they can cap any of these. And now we get to see, on very hard battle difficulty, how trivial it is. I mean, if you've got the patience, that's the big thing. It's obviously a big cheese. And most cheeses are dependent on a degree of patience. And there's Bellicor there. And of course, he's come ahead of his army, because he's much faster than them. They're shooting some of the towers, but whatever, just rebuild them. No big deal. And then... Yep, chuck that on him. He's got loads of health, but you just grind him down. And of course, we still get supplies from these guys as well. And as long as there's no, like, pink fires of, what's it called, pink horrors of Cinch, it's really not that big of a deal. So yeah, let them come at us in waves. Imagine if we had to deal with all of this all at once. See, they're dicking around like crazy. It just takes them ages to get here. This really is the biggest indication of don't ever do what Creative Assembly sets you up to do, because it's almost always a trap. Almost always. Like, the obvious not what they intended you to do is almost always the better choice. So I don't have any more reinforcements to bring in just yet. And where's Bellicor? Yeah, so Bellicor will do a bit of damage. A bit. Let's actually pop down one of these, since we got a nice big blob going there. Yeah, they can't cap this point, it's locked. They have to cap this one here first. But they don't know that. Oh, the odd unit is walking past, but yeah, they have to sit there for more than a few seconds. Oh, Legend, the final battle's so difficult. You just gotta know. You just gotta know that Creative Assembly always have gaps in their strategies. Like, big gaps. They never think that somebody's gonna do this. And then, of course, they'll just patch the crap out of it. Right, we'll make it even more difficult. No supplies in this battle at all. Big old Nurgle blob. So the battle doesn't end when Be'lakor's finished. We have got to get rid of all of these units. But Be'lakor is particularly strong, and being able to focus all of our units on him right now just makes it a lot easier than if there's a lot of other crap there as well. Alright, there's that other tower over there we can get rid of. And also, they're using up their ammo and the soul grinders on towers. The towers are worth 500. That's way, way less than one of my infantry. So let them use up their ammo. Suppose we could even build towers up here because, I mean, they're not attacking the point. It's only a little bit of resources. I saved up 36,000. I don't feel like I even really needed that much. Again, I only brought Kugath into the army. This is all the forces that we brought that gets given to you automatically. So I can see this one here is as max heal, that's why I didn't pop it down on that. So just wait for that to die and they'll just come back. So in order for the AI to win this battle, they have to kill off your entire army and it be dead simultaneously. So as long as you've got supplies and they can't kill you quickly, you can't lose. And it's just a matter of how much time do you want to spend on it, that's all. So towers have been rebuilt, doing some damage to them as they're coming in here. And they're still trying to get rid of this tower here, which that is really inefficient with their ammunition. Really, really inefficient. Okay, really want to shoot those exalted pink horrors. Because anything that's coming in from this way here, this way, that's the stuff that we need to kill. Anything that comes through here, that's the unlimited stuff. It's actually the same unit that keeps coming back. So some of these units here, yeah, they've already got damage done on them, just not very much. And these ones here are half strength, they've got half numbers, compared to the ones here which are full strength units. These ones here aren't really in a great position there. Let's move them back. And let's maybe pop down another fleshy abundance. Try to get everyone as much as we can. We massively over-prepared. Massively. I haven't had to replace anyone yet. Well, we're going to, but I haven't had to. I'm just trying to think who'll benefit most from that. Probably this one. Seems like that one's the one fighting Be'lakor. Be'lakor's down to below half health. Kugath can probably get in there as well, because that'll debuff him. Kugath is at his max heal, but again, if he gets wiped out, no big deal. I didn't even finish getting rid of that. And over here, Yeah, there's a unit here just doesn't know what's going on. they thought that you'd stay there, right? At the back end of the battle over there, and you're not there, and they just don't understand. Like, does not compute. I don't understand. They're not here. Like, yeah, because I'm not gonna fight where you expect me to fight. Should we cap the point? That's not what I'm programmed to do. Did you ever think about not abusing the AI? No, I don't really care about the AI's feelings. Alright, Be'lakor is 1/4 away from dying, I think. And we are almost done with this wave. I massively over-prepared. Massively. I brought way too much to this fight. Way too much. I'll go for another heal, why not? That's such a good spell for this fight here, because you're most likely going to end up in a big blob. So some of these units have reached their max regen, so they're going to get wiped out soon, but we've got more than enough to replace our army like 3 times over. And again, they come back with all of their upgrades, all of their experience. So Kugath is dueling Be'lakor, and Be'lakor is so overwhelmed by Kugath's stink that he just can't really fight him properly. And don't forget, we took all of his equipment off before the battle. Doesn't have Talisman of Preservation, nothing. He's completely naked. And he just can't get through his melee defense. Yeah, that's it. Eat some, eat my diarrhea. I know that wasn't it, but that's what you get for sitting in your ass for half the battle. And he's out of here. Okay, there's no army losses on the final battle. We've got to finish off every single one of these units. Just waiting that to come back. But yeah, this battle's over. And we just massively overprepared. I just didn't need all that supplies. I could have done this an hour earlier. But the whole point of this is just show how abusable it actually is. How much supplies you can get up, you know. And by running over here. I want to point out as well, sometimes they do cap that, okay? We got pretty lucky in this round here. They didn't cap it. The main thing here, if you don't want them to cap it, you got to get out of there as quickly as possible. Alright? Because if they fight you in that area, they'll think that they can just cap that point. Alright, we've just got there's one more over here to go, 7% remaining. Unlimited wave over here will never stop, but that's just providing with more supplies. And if you really need to, you can switch them out. But during the main waves, I wouldn't be switching them out. Unless you're really in a comfortable position, which we are, but I just don't need to do that. This battle's just about over. And again, this was on very hard battle difficulty. Oh, that's right. There was a dude over here, wasn't? Is he? Hang on. Where is it? Somebody's hiding. Somebody's hiding somewhere. Because we can't win the battle until he's been defeated. I gotta find him. Somebody's hiding somewhere. Where are you hiding? I've had this happen before where a unit goes and hides somewhere and you just can't bloody find it because they're basically so pissed off that you've beaten them. Where did you go? Gotta be somewhere. What happened there? It's not in here. No, it wouldn't be in there. That's the unlimited wave stuff. It's not here. Where the hell did he go? Oh man, I gotta go searching for. He'll probably just come out when we walk right past him. He could be hiding in the terrain somewhere. It's a corn unit. It's like, I don't want to lose. Where are you hiding, you son of a bitch? Jeez, where is it? Oh, is that him? Okay, yeah, I just didn't see him. He was... There he is. I must have been blind. Maybe he was hiding somewhere in there. Maybe you guys saw it. I just didn't see him. But anyway, that's the end of that. And then, as soon as that's done, everything else dies. And boom, victory. So that's how you cheese the final battle with just one lord. And of course, the reinforcements that you get, for free coming in here. Battle took us absolutely forever, but most of that battle was me AFK anyway, just I wasn't even there. Didn't get a very high score, but the whole point of this was to, oh my god, some of the kills on this is ridiculous. The whole point of this was to showcase how trivial this battle can be if you just understand how the AI behaves. Tactics is really about understanding your enemy and attacking them in their weak spot. Not about attacking them in their strength. And it's not about unit rock, paper, scissors, but rather about strategic positioning and just confusing the hell out of them. Also known as abusing the AI. And there we go. So Kugath walks out of there with 3,000 kills. And none of this stuff here matters at all anyway. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. I hope that helps you when you find a battle. I know it's a long one, but hopefully you've enjoyed that absolute slog. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.